The mindset of a six-figure trader. Hi, it's Charlie giving you today's video. So, having met a number of six-figure traders and having been a six-figure trader myself, what's the mindset there? There's key differences with someone most of the time being a six-figure trader to someone who's maybe a four-figure trader or even five. So, what are those differences? First is get rich quick. Oops, what's up with my pen here today? Get rich quick. Six-figure traders are less inclined to be interested in that, and that is what, of course, people who have less money to trade with, of course, they want to get that account growth, and they'll go desperately searching for that all over the internet, and there are issues with that, but what we're talking about here is, what's the mindset of a six-figure trader? So they are less inclined to be chasing the latest get-rich-quick holy grail trading strategy. They're not, number two, is they're not, therefore, desperate. And it's a shame, but that's just the way it is. Not always, but someone with 2,000 or pounds or dollars in a trading account, they're not necessarily going to be desperate, but they're more likely to be desperate to succeed, and therefore they're going to probably push it that little bit harder, maybe take bigger risks. And that leads me on to number three. They risk less. So they risk less. And I know a lot of you are saying, yeah, that's all very well. They've already got six figures, Charlie. Yeah, I get that. I'm just telling you what the mindset is to someone who is trading with a larger pot of money relative to someone who's trading with a less large. You can still get there with a smaller pot. It just takes time, which was my number four. So they risk less, time. Now, again, they're not in some form of hurry to try and get their six figures into a million or several million or whatever, more often than not. So time is less of an issue for them. They're quite happy to take their time trading that account and not inclined to rush things. And number five here, they are more inclined. Now, again, I have to be careful here because it's not always the case, but of all the swing traders I've spoken to, all the six-figure traders I've spoken to over the decades, they're more inclined to be swing traders. It's not a definite, because there are six and seven figure traders who do day trade, but they're more inclined. So why is that? Well, because they're not in a hurry, for starters, and a lot of people think, I've only got a couple of thousand in a trading account, I must day trade because then I'll compound my account quicker. It's that sort of mindset. So they're more inclined to swing trade. When you're trading with bigger amounts, if you're trading on a intraday 5-minute chart, and within 5 minutes of taking a trade you've lost $1,000, then very quickly you think, oh, that wasn't very nice, when you're trading larger accounts. So more often than not, someone who is trading a multiple six-figure account is probably less inclined. It's not a definite. I know six-figure traders who do day trade. I'm just saying that more often than not, in my experience of the last couple of decades in talking to thousands of traders, of those who are trading larger pots of money, they tend to be more interested in swing trading. They can make their decisions over a period of time. They haven't got to make a decision, oh God, something's happened on the 5-minute chart. Do I trade it? Do I not? That type of stuff. So they're more inclined to swing trade as well. So it's quite interesting when we put these 5 points together, and I could obviously put more, but when you put these 5 points together, what they're doing the opposite essentially of what the people who are trading with a few £1,000s in a trading account are more likely to be doing. So they're going to be much more attuned to risks. They will use things like stop losses, whereas others won't. They have time on their side. They're not in a hurry, and as I've already said here as well, as about the whole get rich quick thing, searching for holy grails. They're not desperate. You can see all of those could be clustered in together. And point number 5, yeah, I've met day traders who trade millions, but more of those larger pot traders tend to swing trade for the reason, just the reason I've just given alone. They would rather not get into a trade and then immediately, which happens with day trading, it's quite volatile, and so they don't want to see that volatility on their account. Now you could say, well, you just trade less. Absolutely, trade smaller size, and that's what some of the traders, the day traders that I've come across who are trading larger accounts, tend to just trade very small risk per trade on their intraday trading, just to try and keep that volatility low. So there you go. There's a few points there with regards to the mindset of a six-figure trader. If you want to get into that mindset, consider all of these points and think, what am I doing here? Yeah, so don't get me wrong, you can grow small accounts and grow them rapidly, but there are greater risks with that. So someone who's trading with a six-figure account isn't going to be wanting to take that sort of risk because they don't need to. So whereas someone on a smaller account might say, well, actually, I really want to get my 5,000 into 50,000 or whatever, and so they're going to want to take more risks. All I'm saying here is these are the attributes of traders who are trading with larger pots of money, and that they're less inclined to trade in a more volatile manner. There you go. That's the thoughts for today. I'll be back soon.